Hey guys, welcome back to Man Interest 1-1. Back at it with another boxing editorial, I guess, or my thoughts on the past weekend's fight. Big fight was the Bradley versus Bam Bam Rios fight. Look, I don't think anybody saw Bradley knocking out Rios. Rios is a guy who hasn't even been down before, and all of a sudden, knocked out before, and all of a sudden, Bradley, the guy with like what a dozen knockouts in his career, drops Rios. Bradley. If Pacquiao couldn't drop Rios, I definitely didn't see Bradley having the power to do it. So my initial predictions was going to be that Bradley was going to win a unanimous decision. I figured he was going to watch the Pacquiao tapes. He was going to utilize his speed. He was going to hit him with a lot of quick jabs, move, duck and weave, and pretty much that is what he was doing. But Rios made it easier for him. Rios came in there. He came in there overweight, 170 pounds. He ballooned up to overnight. He was squishy. He was squishy. Bradley realized it, started working the body, and there's only so many. He may have a good chin. Rios may have a good chin and be able to say, "Oh, you can't hurt me," but the body feels what the body feels, and those shots of the body, they look like they took a serious toll on him, and by the ninth round, that was all he can handle. I was surprised. It was an entertaining fight, but I was definitely surprised that Bradley was able to get the knockdown. Of course, the story, the main storyline is Terry Atlas and his sound bits in the training in the corner. The whole fireman thing where firefighters. Oh, I loved it. I loved it. It was entertaining. And that's what boxing is supposed to be. It's supposed to be entertaining. Bradley looked a little crazy out there, though. You see him before the fight started. He's doing that little prayer when they announce his name. He looked a little bit psycho. And, when he was in the corner, he was just staring at Atlas like he was a puppy. Like he was a puppy about to get a treat. He was intense. So, I want to see it again. That's not something I usually really think about Bradley fights. I'm like, you're going to get a fight, but, are you going to get the knockdowns? Is it going to be entertaining? And listen, you got to give it up to Bradley. He has made some entertaining fights. And so, I liked it. They say Rios is going to retire. I doubt it. There's still fights that he can make, to build other people's careers up. He's still a recognizable name. He's fought Pacquiao, fought Bradley. So he's still a known name. He may not be expected to win. He may be, just expected to roll over and lose. But he'll go out there and he'll throw his punches. Hopefully he could stay in better shape. He just looked god awful. He was just swinging his arms around. It was really rough. I do think that this fight is being made out more than what it is, though. I think it's being made out to be way more than what it really is. It was one of those situations where Bradley came in there looking really good, and on the other directions, Rios was really bad. And so I think it created this perfect storm where everyone's saying, "Oh, this is a rejuvenated Bradley." He says Atlas in his corner. He looks great. It reminds me a lot of that Miguel Cotto fight when he won the middleweight championship. He went in there. He hooked up with Freddie Roach. Won the middleweight championship, and the other guy, he had bad knees. Sergio Martinez, yeah. Sergio had bad knees, and so he looked really bad out there. I don't even think he had a training sparring partner throughout his camp. So it was Cotto went in there. He looked great, moved around great generalship, great distance. And Sergio couldn't do anything because he had his bad knees. And so when you get those, that perfect storm like that, it creates this atmosphere where people say, "Wow, look how great Cotto looked! Look how great Cotto looked!" Then he fights a bum last spring and Daniel Gill, and everyone. I think his stock is a little higher than what it really should be. And I think right now we're getting the same effect with Timothy Bradley. I think his stock is a little bit too high. He hasn't beaten a top fighter since maybe what's his face, Marquez. So who knows? And I think Marquez was on the juice, but that's neither here nor there. So I think this is being made out more than what it is, just so Top Rank has negotiation room and wiggle room for the spring negotiations. Now they're saying that Canelo is a possible opponent in the spring for Bradley. All of a sudden, now you have a fight. You have a name out there. It doesn't have to be Triple G. It doesn't have to. You don't have to put Canelo in the corner anymore and say, hey, he has to fight Triple G. If he wins or loses, here's another option. Just so I'm getting a sense that the belt doesn't mean anything, and that it's just about making it's all about making the money. I'm starting to realize that more and more as I follow these fights and try to understand where they're going in the future and predict these the upcoming fights and why the promotions go the way they go. It's obvious. This is about the money, because this really wasn't that big of a fight for Bradley to say, okay, now we're going to elevate him to the best, pound for pound, or number 2 pound for pound at 147 behind Pacquiao. I still think there's a lot of guys that are equal or better than Timothy Bradley at this point. Because who did Rios beat? I don't see how beating Rios all of a sudden elevates him to number 2 better than Keith Thurman, Kell Brook. I would like to see an Amir Khan fight. There's a lot of other guys out there that could fight him. And I think that's a pretty shrewd move to say, hey, you know what, we're going to get out of 147. We're just going to go straight to 154 or 152 and fight a Canelo fight. And it sucks because everybody wants to see the Canelo Triple G fight. So we'll see what happens. Those are my thoughts. It was still an entertaining fight. You can't ask for much more than that. And I guess we'll see more, and we'll have a better idea how things are going to play out in the spring once a fight's announced with Manny Pacquiao and who the winner of the Canelo fight is in a couple of weeks. All right, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Let me know what I need to improve. Man, interest, uno, out.